Hey there, Scott here. I want to talk for a second about messaging and nonprofits. Nonprofits have always a great story to tell, but sometimes they get caught up. They have a lot of volunteer people on the board who don't really understand persuasive speech or messaging, and sometimes don't even understand marketing, and they create kind of weird or confusing messages that kind of start with "we believe this," or "we have this," or "we are going to be this," or "we." And long time listeners of my videos, I mean, you already know what I'm going to say, right? Is that we got to start with you, right? We got to start with the audience, and the audience in this case is probably donors. It's probably going to be donors, and it's probably not going to be us. It's not going to be the board or anybody sitting around a room trying to figure that out. I work with lots of nonprofits. One of the first things you got to do is you got to make the donors the hero of the story. You got to make everything about them. You got to resist the urge to talk about yourself, and it's a big urge, and you got to resist that, and you got to watch all those personal pronouns, because if somebody's looking for something to donate to, and there's already a hero in the story, and their donation isn't going to make them feel like a hero, then you're going to lose. Okay, they're going to move on to something else, and they're going to be like, well, what does make me feel like a hero? How do I close that gap between the person that I, wish I was, and the person, or the person that I am, and the person I wish I was, in terms of generosity, and that kind of thing, right? And you got to think that way, right? That's how we analyze and work on persuasive speech and messaging, right? We figure out what is really kind of the driving force here, and then we use our words to invite them into that story where they get what they want psychologically in this case. So do that. And if you're a nonprofit, spend time on messaging, and for God's sake, don't let the board do it, and for God's sake, don't let anybody that's not really trained do it, because they don't know what they're doing, and they're going to create something that sounds good or whatever, and it's just not going to work. It's not going to help you close your fundraising goals. I've helped a lot of nonprofits close their fundraising goals, and it's not about your story at all. It's about their story and how you invite them into it. I'm Scott with Robertson Communications. May the best brand win.